Welcome. So this week, it's the last few days before the election in the States. And so I thought we would do a little bit of practices to help us work it out. If you're feeling anxious or having a lot of angst or concern, or you're just having a lot of energy and emotion kind of pent up, built up, I want to just help us kind of get that out. So this practice is going to be a little bit more vigorous, but hopefully as a result, more centering and also a little more grounding and calming, and just giving you that sense of invincibility and you're okay no matter what happens on Tuesday if you're an American or not. So that's what we're going to go through today. It's going to be a few seated practices to begin, a little more vigorous than last week, and then we'll do some movement and then come back to seated as usual. Okay, so let's begin. Tall spine, comfortable seat. Make sure you're sitting on something to keep your hips elevated. And rub the hands together. We'll begin with 3 ohms as usual. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. And inhaling. And lower your hands, open your eyes. So welcome to my little yoga study. This is where I do a lot of my yoga thinking, contemplation. Okay, so we're going to start with a pranayama. This is Sukha Shunya. It helps us to access the infinite field of silence, the Shunya, and the infinite bliss and joy that can come out of that field, the Sukha. So Sukha Shunya. It's going to be an 8-part inhale, 8-part exhale. We'll inhale through the nose, and then the mouth, nose, mouth, nose, mouth, nose, mouth, and then exhale, nose, mouth, nose, mouth, nose, mouth, nose, mouth. Okay. So there's a certain rhythm to it. It's going to be almost like a 4/4 timing, if you know music. And it takes a little practice in the beginning because it's a little unusual to be inhaling through the nose and then the mouth so quickly in succession. But just stick with it. We'll be here for a few minutes. Okay. So tall spine. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And let's begin. You hold the breath at the top for as long as is comfortable. And then exhale. You always start with the nose, so that makes it easier. So it's always inhaling through the nose, mouth, and then at the top, exhaling through the nose, mouth. So let's continue. You can go at your own pace. You don't have to follow me. When you're holding the breath of the inhale, take your attention up to the third eye. Exhaling all the way out. And coming back to center, let go of the breath. Just breathe normally, naturally. Keep your eyes closed. Through the practice, establishing ourselves within a stable field of silence, acting and talking from that place as we go about our lives. Through this practice, we will shift from a victim state, a state of helplessness, to a state of complete surrender, but also through that, a state of yoga, which is ultimately a state of well being that is deeply unshakable. Okay, we're going to practice Shiva Kriya 1. This is helping us to move beyond our limitations and to develop our staying power. In this one, we're going to have our hands in tridents. So our index, middle, and pinky or ring finger are forming the trident, with our pinky and thumb a little bit apart. It's going to be a 2-part inhale through the nose, 2-part exhale through the mouth. Our gaze is up to the third eye, eyes open or closed. Okay. So we'll be here for about 5 or 6 minutes. So just surrender into the practice. Tall spine. Let's begin. Practicing all the way. No holding back. And inhale the arms up. Hold the breath. Take root lock. And exhale the arms down. Exhaling. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Tapping into your own limitlessness. Developing the feeling from the inside out that you are okay, that everything is okay. Not in a way that denies suffering taking place around you or within you, but tapping into that feeling, developing that feeling, so that you can then act more effectively, more relevantly, more powerfully in the world to minimize suffering, to be of service. Breathing here, breathing. Okay, we're going to practice Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. This is a Kriya that is along the same sort of theme, helping us to move into our higher consciousness. Develop a deep state of surrender, which then becomes one of our most powerful qualities. Okay, so in this one, we're going to practice it for at least as long as we did Shiva Kriya. So do the best you can. Really give it your all. That's all you should. That's what you should always do with these kriyas. But of course, if you need to stop or rest, I welcome you to do that as well. But yeah, really try to just give it your all. Go all the way in the kriya and in your life. Okay. So in this one, we're going to be starting with our arms up at 60 degrees, and then we're going to be bringing our arms down and striking our rib cage with the arms as we bring our hands into Jnana Mudra. So Jnana Mudra with the index finger touching the thumb. And we're going to chant the mantra Om Namo. Okay, so we're going to do that 3 times. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo. And then we're going to take our hands to Namaskar in front of the third eye with our thumbs out, touching the third eye, elbows up. And we're going to chant Guru Dev Namo, Guru Dev Namo. I'll put the mantra in the video. So it's like this. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Okay? So, our attention will be at the third eye. You can have your eyes open or closed. Tall spine. You can change the cross of the legs if you need to before we get started. Okay, arms up, 60 degrees. Let's begin. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Really straighten the arms and unbend them each time. And then you're going to be making the Jnana Mudra and then letting it go as you come up. So like that, okay? Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Namo Gurudev 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 Namo. Really surprise yourself with how far you can go. I mean, I think you'll be surprised at how you can keep going even when you think you have to stop, right? Namo Gurudev Namo. 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 I think you'll find the less you think about it, the easier it is. You just do it. You're just doing it. No thought. Namo Gurudev Namo. 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 Namo. 2 more minutes, if you can do it. 2 more minutes. Namo Gurudev Namo. Namo Gurudev Namo. Namo Namo Gurudev Namo. 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 30 more seconds. Namo Gurudev Namo. 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 See if you can go another 30 more seconds, okay? You can do it. Namo Gurudev Namo. 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 Okay. Woo. Lower the arms. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Going beyond our own concept of ourselves. Going past where we've been in the past. Going beyond. Tapping into our own vitality. Feeling our own aliveness. Breathing. Just being right here, right now. Okay. And then slowly moving your props out of the way, we'll come into all fours. Coming to all fours and then coming into cat-cow. Warming up the spine. Moving the hips. whichever way you feel, starting to be more fluid in the body. And then pushing back into your down dog. Walking out the feet, pedaling the feet, stretching out your calves, coming into your hamstrings a little bit more, grounding through the hands, spreading the fingers. And then walking the feet to the top of the mat. And folding forward. Take a breath. Uttanasana. And inhaling all the way up. Tadasana, hands in namaskar in front of the heart. Let's come into Vrikshasana. So bringing the sole of the right foot into the left inner thigh. Just balancing here, getting a sense of our own connection to the earth. The right knee goes out to the side. Open hips. You can keep the hands in front of the heart, or you can inhale the arms up. Your left leg is engaged, strong. Take a few breaths here. Okay, and then lowering that right foot, shifting the weight onto the right foot, changing sides. Try to get that left foot up as high as you can, and then standing strong with that right leg engaged, gazing forward. Taking the arm variation from this first side. Developing our sense of stability, balance. Coming back to Tadasana. Taking a breath here. And inhale the arms up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, look forward, step to the back of the mat. Knees, chest, chin. Coming up to a cobra. And then pushing back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the right leg up behind you. Step it forward. Coming up to high lunge, crescent lunge. And lowering the hands. Stepping through Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, and Adho Mukha. Now the left leg up behind you. Step it forward. Crescent lunge. Right leg is strong and engaged. And exhale the hands down. Stepping back. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha. And then lowering your knees to the mat, up to the sides of the mat. Coming into your child's pose. We'll take a breath here. And then tucking your toes, coming back to down dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you. Bend the knee and open the hip. And then straighten the right leg. Step it forward. Lower your left knee, coming into a low lunge. Starting to come into the hip flexor. Gazing up slightly. Lower the hands. Stepping back. Plank pose. We'll take a breath here. Legs are strong. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. And out. Left leg up. Open the hip. Bend the knee. And straighten the left leg. Coming through. Lowering the right knee. Anjaneyasana. Breathing here. And lowering the hands, tucking in the right toes, stepping back, Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, and out. Look forward to the top of the mat, step or jump. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, fold forward. Inhaling all the way up. Tadasana. Lower the hands, Samastitihi, palms forward. Deep breath. Inhale the arms up. Akasha Mudra. Standing tall, and then bending over to the right. Keeping those feet grounded. Feeling a side stretch here. Breathing into the side body. Coming back up. Tall spine. Over to the left. And gaze up slightly at your tricep. And coming back up. Hands do namaskar. Feet wide. We'll practice warrior breath 2. So in this one, we're going to scoop up energy from the earth, prana. Bring our hands and fists to the sides. And then inhale again through the nose as you reach up and straighten the legs. And then it's a 2-part exhale through the mouth, crossing the arms back to the sides, fists opening. When you bend forward, of course, as always, long spine, bending from the hips. Okay. Warrior breath 2. One more time. Straighten the legs. Palms forward, gaze forward. Breathing deeply. And stepping the feet back together. We'll practice the Laya movement here. So this one is a Shiva Nataraj Laya movement. And so it's supposed to mimic actually the dancing Shiva. So Shiva Nataraj. It's a meditative movement. And so we're going to be bringing one foot as we bend We'll shift our weight onto the left foot, for example, onto the one of the feet. And we'll start to bend that knee a little bit as we bring the other foot in front, pointing the toes. And we match that leg with this arm. So the same arm and leg are going across. We're gonna form a Pana mudra with that hand. Okay, so the middle finger and the ring finger are touching the thumb. Index and pinky are extended. And so it looks like this on this here. At the same time, we're going to bring our other hand, in this case the left hand, into Jnana mudra with the fingertips touching over the head. Okay. And so it's not exactly the same, but it's close. So it looks like this. So this palm is facing forward. This palm is facing towards you. And then you'll just slowly shift, changing the mudras and the legs. Okay. Takes a little practice to get the mudras and everything coordinated. So you can watch me if you need to. Becoming this pose. The idea with all asanas and laya movements is that you just eventually become the practice. Not so much through an effort, but through a surrendering, a releasing into it mentally. You can make it very fluid, almost dancery. You can sort of add some flourishes if you want. Make sure you're breathing here. Just breathing normally. I find the breath eventually starts to sync up with the movement, so you're sort of inhaling as you change and then exhaling as you come to stillness. But you don't have to do that. Okay, last side. Then feet hip width apart. Take a few breaths here with your eyes closed. Okay, and then coming back to Tadasana at the top of the mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look forward, and then step to the back of the mat. Coming through Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, and Adho Mukha. Inhale the right leg up behind you. Step it forward, coming into Virabhadrasana 1. We'll take a few breaths here in Vira 1. Bring the hands through Namaskar and then clasp the hands behind you. Coming into Humble Warrior. Deep breath. Keep that right hip in. Okay, coming back up. Bring the hands to the hips. Make sure the hips are square, relatively square to the top of the mat. And then you're going to scoot that left foot in a little bit, straightening both legs, coming into Parsvottanasana or pyramid pose. So you're going to come forward, bending it from the hips, and then you just bring the hands to the floor or to blocks, if you have some blocks. Relatively long spine here. You don't want to try to round too much. There's no goal of getting the head on the knee or anything like that. Just keeping that right leg strong. Both legs are engaged. Both feet are grounded. Breathing into that right hamstring. saying hello to the hamstrings. Okay, coming back up. And then from here, we'll come into Garudasana. So our feet are pretty close together anyway, so all it's going to be is a little gentle little kind of pushing off as we bring the left foot up and around, starting to bend that right leg, wrapping the legs, and then taking the right arm over the left in front of us, sinking the hips down, squeezing those legs together. You can wrap the legs once or twice, whichever you have in your flexibility. Spine is long. We're breathing. Okay, and then coming back to Tadasana from here. Standing tall. Palms open towards the front. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale and look forward. Step to the back of the mat. Come through your vinyasa. Left leg up behind you. Step it forward, coming into your Vira 1 on the other side. So your back foot is grounded, on the heels on the floor. Left knee is over left ankle. Arms are extending up alongside your ears. And then clasp the hands behind you. Opening the heart slightly here as we come forward. Your clasped fingers are the opposite way from the first side, ideally. Coming back up, hands on the hips. Scoot that right foot in, keeping the hips square to the top of the mat. And folding forward, pyramid pose. So much of our anxiety can come from imagined scenarios. 99% of the time, there's nothing actually truly threatening happening in the moment. So much wasted energy in this worrying and anxiety. Coming back up. And then transitioning into our Garudasana. Left arm on top this time. Sinking the hips down. The more you squeeze the legs and sink the hips, the easier it is to balance. And of course, if there's something we can do about a challenge facing us or somebody we know, then we take action. But if there's no action to be taken in this moment, then we should develop the capacity to relax completely. And that's what the practice of yoga is doing. Okay, Tadasana. Take a breath here. Standing strong with our feet on the earth. Okay, let's come back to our Nataraj Laya movement. Apana Mudra, and the arm coming across. Jnana Mudra, and the arm going over the head. And coming to stillness, feet are hip width. Okay, we're going to practice a Kriya, Hastabala. So bring the feet wide, knees are bent. We're going to take our hands crisscrossed, squeeze together, and we're going to be pressing the palms together as hard as we can as we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Gazing forward. Focusing our attention on the space between our palms. Okay, so pressing as hard as you can, going as powerfully as you can in this. Let's begin. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. If it's more than just an exhale, that's fine too. Ah. 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 as hard as you can. And letting go, straightening the legs, gazing forward, deep breath. And then shake it out. Shake out your arms. Shake out your head. Shake out your legs. Just shake the whole body. Okay. And then come to stillness with your feet apart. Bring both hands to the heart, laying your hands on the heart. Take a few breaths here. Okay, inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward. Step your feet to the back of the mat. Come through your chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, and Adho Mukha. Inhale the right leg up behind you. Step it forward, coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Gazing out over the right fingers. Reverse the warrior. Coming into Parsvakonasana, side angle. You can have the forearm on the thigh or hand on the floor, inside or outside the foot. Whatever variation is in your practice. And then from here, placing your left hand on the left hip, straightening the leg, coming into triangle pose. Trikonasana. And both legs are strong. And then from here, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. You can use a block if you need to. Hips are stacked. Left hip is still up over the right. You can take Chapasana if it's in your practice. And then coming into vertical splits. And then stepping the left foot back, stepping the right foot back, coming through Vinyasa. Inhale the left leg up behind you. Step it forward. Vira 2. Reverse. And then side angle. And triangle. And then scooting forward. Ardhanajasana, half moon. I know it's the full moon today, but just a half moon. Savasana variation if you like. And then standing splits. Hips are level with the floor here. And then stepping your both feet back. Let's take child's pose. Okay. Tucking the toes. Coming through. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. And Adho Mukha. Now look forward between the hands. Step to the top. Exhale, fold forward. Coming up through chair pose. Utkatasana. And then standing all the way up. Tadasana. Okay. So taking a wide stance here, we're going to practice rock throwing Kriya. And so here we imagine that we're standing on a path. And there's a giant rock in front of us. So we're going to bend forward. Again, long spine here, bending from the hips. We're going to bend forward, pick up the rock, and then throw it behind us as we chant Ha, H-A, okay? So it's like, Ha, Ha, okay? It's a lot of fun. Just really give everything you got. Just throw those rocks, okay? Ha, 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 Ha. This is great for letting go. Ha, what's no longer serving you. Ha, 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 Ha. And then stand tall. Straighten your legs. Eyes open to the front. Deep breaths. Practicing vairagyam. Non-attachment. Letting go. The freedom that comes from letting go. Letting go of our kleshas, our samskaras, burning through our karma. Okay, coming back to Nataraj. And then coming back to stillness. Take a breath, close your eyes. We'll transition into Nataraj asana now. So this is the asana variation of dancing Shiva. Standing tall, feet are together, Tadasana. And then shift your weight into your left foot. Grabbing a hold of the right foot on the inside of the foot with your hand. Your right thumb is pointing towards your toes. Bring your knees together. Left arm extends up over the head. And then you just come forward. Standing leg is strong. Breathing. Try to keep those hips level with the floor. You're just lifting that right foot. Not trying to go too far, just going as far as you can. Okay. And then letting go of the foot, coming back to Tadasana. And then changing sides, shifting your weight into your right foot, grabbing a hold of the left. And then extending the right hand up over the head and coming forward. Again, with this pose, we're not trying to get anywhere. There's no goal, there's only total acceptance of where you are in the moment. And whenever you're ready, lower the foot, come back to Tadasana. Inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, fold forward. And look forward. And step the feet back. Knees, chest, chin. Coming into a cobra. And pushing back to downward dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you. And then bring the shin forward. Coming into pigeon. Left leg is straight out behind you. Lifting up. Flexing the right foot to protect the knee. And then coming forward. Just dropping into the pose. If your hips are a little tight, you can place a folded blanket or a block or a bolster underneath this hip. Sometimes it's not even a matter of filling the space completely, but it's just giving your hip the permission to let go a little bit more. And then start to walk your hands back towards your shin, tucking the left toes, stepping back into downward dog. Inhale the left leg up, and then bring that left shin forward. Flexing the left foot, lifting up, lengthening the spine, and then coming forward. And then walking the hands back towards the shin. Swing that right leg around, so you shift your weight onto the outside of your left hip, and then swing that leg around. And then from here, let's scoot onto our back. Legs are long. Bring the right knee in towards the shoulder. And then if you have a strap and your hamstrings are tight, or a towel, you can grab the prop. Otherwise, we're going to take our big toe into our right peace sign fingers. We're just going to extend the leg up over our head. Eventually our shoulder will come onto the floor, but that's, for you and me, probably that's a little ways off. Then you can lower the right leg out to the side. And then bring that foot back up. Let go of the toes. Lower the leg to the floor. Bring the left knee up. Hugging it in towards the shoulder. And then grabbing a hold of the big toe with peace sign fingers or your strap or your towel. Flexing that foot. Breathing into the hamstrings and perhaps the calf muscle. And then you can bring the foot out to the side. Mine just happens to fit in this little cubby. Your right leg is straight. You can place your right hand on your right thigh. And then bringing that leg back up and letting go. And then from here, coming into Halasana. So, lifting the legs up over the head, clasping the hands along the floor. The legs are strong and engaged. Don't turn your head to the side in this one. You want to protect the neck. Okay. And then I like to take the knees to the forehead and point the feet towards the sky. It's very calming, restorative, intermediate pose. If you prefer, you can have the knees going down towards the ears with the feet on the floor and the knees bent. And from here, you want to slowly roll, straightening the legs. You want to roll your spine one vertebrae at a time back onto the mat. And then that right knee comes back in. And then to shift the hips out a little bit to the side as you twist over to the side. Gazing out over the right arm. Dropping into the floor. Letting everything go. And then bring the hips back to center. Lengthen the right leg out and bring the left knee up. Scoot the hips out a little bit to the left as you twist the knee over to the right and gaze out over the left arm. Okay, and then from here, you're going to cross the ankles. You're going to start to rock up and down the spine. You can begin to a seated position. Finding your sitting props once again. We'll meet back in a seated pose. Okay, we're going to return to Shiva once again. It's a new variation on Shiva Kriya. This is Shiva Kriya 4. So this one uses a mantra. The mantra is Nang Mung Sing Shiva. Okay, I'll put it here or here. Okay, Nang Mung Sing Shiva. So we're going to do the trident mudra again. It's going to go in 3 times and then on Shiva out. Okay. So Nang Mung Sing Shiva, Nang Mung Sing Shiva. Okay. We'll be here for a little while. As usual, just surrender into the Kriya. We'll do this and then we'll finish with a very calming, meditative pranayama. Okay. So let's begin. Nang Mung Sing Shiva, Nang Mung Sing Shiva. Attention is at the third eye as usual, Sambhavi Mudra. Nang Mung Sing Shiva, 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 Nang Mung Sing Shiva Nang Mang Sing, 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 Nang Mang Sing, Shiva 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 Nang Mang Sing. And now letting go of the mantra, letting your hands rest on your legs. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. Settling into a deeper experience of silence and stillness. shifting into a state of becoming the cause of your life instead of the effect. Shiva Nataraj reminds us that our life is a reflection of the state of our consciousness. The dancer is the dance. The experiencer is the experience. Your life becomes whatever state of consciousness you are maintaining most consistently. Okay, we're going to practice Amrita Pranayam. This practice is good for fostering hope and stability and grounding. It's grounding pranayama. So in this practice, we're going to start with Hiranyagarbha Mudra. I think a lot of you are familiar with already. Down here in front of the first and second chakra, we're going to be inhaling through the mouth. As we come up into Kamala Mudra, Lotus Mudra, where the thumbs and pinkies are together, the palms, the edges of the palms are together in front of the heart. And then as we continue to inhale through the mouth, the hands become a flat plane in front of the third eye, and then we exhale through the nose, lowering the hands out in front of us. Okay. So we'll do this for a couple minutes. Tall spine as usual. Eyes are closed. You're going to be following the mudra with your attention. Your attention is on the spine, inside the spine, the Sushumna Nadi, the central channel. And you're imagining a golden light rising up from the tail of the spine all the way to the third eye. Okay. So as you're inhaling through the mouth, your golden light is rising up the spine. Okay. So let's begin. Slow inhale, slow exhale. In through the mouth, out through the nose. A golden light is rising. The golden nectar, Amrita. Shoulders are away from the ears. Relax. And then coming back to center, letting go of the mudras, sitting quietly, breathing. Bring your attention to your inner spaciousness. Developing a radical openness to whatever is coming your way, whatever is coming our way. And so I invite you to sit quietly in this state of total acceptance, total surrender, a state of deep allowing, a state of receiving. Thank you so much. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.